Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to a reading for the week of August 12th. This week, we're going to jump right in here. You have this blessed card, which I love, and this deep knowing card. So maybe you know that there are blessings coming in for you at this time. And so if you're hoping for blessings, I feel like you could be receiving a blessing. Look at the difference between these two here. It's like the angel and the devil almost. You have your higher self angel here at the top of the lovers, and then you have the devil. So there could be love coming in for you. Maybe the blessing is that you're healing from a past toxic connection. Again, one thing that I will say to you, Sagittarius, is based off your astrology, it wouldn't surprise me if you've just been dealing with toxic people in general. This could be like friends, family members, it could be just people that you work with or whatever. And, this has come up for you over the past few years that you've really been learning how to set healthy boundaries with people who maybe don't have your best intentions at heart, right? And I think that a lot of you, that the devil basically could just be saying that you have you have learned who you need to set boundaries with, and who you don't necessarily. I mean, I think you should set boundaries with everybody, but again, who you can kind of open up to and who you shouldn't open up to. And I think that's kind of what this is talking about. You do have the lovers here, and they're not. You don't have any other love cards yet, so again, the lovers can just represent a choice or a decision that you are making. So the lovers can come up when we are at a crossroads in our lives and we have some sort of choice to make. And you have the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands coming up in this top row here. And so this could represent you making a choice to move forward in your life or to expand out into the world. The Three of Wands is really a card of expansion and growth and growing in the world. So I think that some of you that the lovers could just say that you're at a crossroads and you're removing yourself from restriction. The devil doesn't necessarily represent restriction, but it kind of does, because the devil can represent an energy vampire, and an energy vampire doesn't even have to be a person. An energy vampire could be a job or a business or just something that feels like a waste of time. And so I feel for a lot of you that it is talking about restriction in the sense that you are setting yourselves free from something that has been keeping you stuck. These people have these chains around their necks on the devil card, and it kind of represents the fact that they could easily lift those chains from around their necks and they could set themselves free. And so I feel a lot of you could be hoping to set yourself free from something that has been keeping you stuck for a long time, like something that's been stealing your energy. You have the Queen of Wands here. Yeah, I feel really good about this. I kind of just feel like this is how you are showing up in this reading. I feel like this is saying that you're showing up in a position of power and strength, which allows you to really get what you want from the reading. I kind of feel like you're standing out. You're just being bold and assertive. On a very simple level, I feel that this card is just saying that that you are embracing the energy of the Queen of Wands. So, that's really all I get there. But let's see. With the lovers, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, if you do want love, I do feel that there could be someone who's kind of rushing in. People ask me all the time, is it okay to date during Mercury retrograde? And I always say, don't let astrology control your life. So, yes, absolutely. I've met people that have been married under retrogrades. I've been married for 20 years. So, really, is it that big of a deal? No, probably not. I always say that, what's meant for you will never pass you by. I truly believe that. So, again, if you're meant to be with a person, it doesn't matter if it's a retrograde or not. To me, it's I would try to date during a retrograde, because it's the mistakes are going to show right away. So it's imagine only being with a person for a month instead of having to wait a year to find out that they do something weird, like clip their toenails in bed. It's under a retrograde, you're going to find that out in under a month. So it's don't you want to learn that now instead of wasting a year? I think it's much, much better to not wait till after a retrograde. It's if you meet a person now, go for it, because at least you'll find out the weird stuff right away and you don't have to wait. With the Devil card, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a card of stability and wealth. I think a lot of you could be developing better financial habits as well. And so, I think your past few readings have been talking about wealth and, you increasing your finances. So a lot of you with the Devil could just be kind of conquering any bad habits or removing bad habits so you can increase your wealth. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Strength card. Exactly what I said. I think you're just embracing the Queen energy. The Strength card is about having strength. She's getting this lion on the card to submit to her. So she is the one that's in control here. And the lion represents her inner voice, like her inner critic, her inner demons. But those things, again, are submitting to her. And so she's the one that's in control. I think a lot of you are kind of like taking control of your life here, and you're finding success because of it. Next, in the area of what is coming in for you right now, you have this Pegasus. It says the Muse, Fame, and Sacred Springs. You have this Dragon. It says Ancient Wisdom, Protector, and Magic. So both cards are kind of like a little bit magical here. You could be really standing out. It says Fame on it, and you have the Star. The Star is like fame and fortune. So if you are trying to get attention on anything, now would definitely be a good time for you to get attention. You have the Three of Cups, the Star, and the Seven of Swords. I do feel like some of you could be having some sort of reunion at this time, or you could be like meeting up with friends that you haven't seen in a while. So again, I don't think this is like a lover necessarily coming back, but I do think that something, could be revisiting you from the past, and I do feel you'll be celebrating it, right? And I think you'll be very happy. I also feel like for some of you, this is like something that you don't expect that could be coming back for you. So for like a small percentage of you, if you did like a bunch of work on something in the past that you weren't paid for, like there could be a bonus. But the thing that I really get here is that kind of like what I feel here is that it might not come back in the way that you expect. It's like you might be, it's like sometimes we do a bunch of work for a person, maybe they don't pay us, but it's like maybe we get another big client that pays us double, right? Or that we can charge double or something like that. It's like, I hope that makes sense. Like maybe you're not getting it directly from like a person that owes you something, but it could be kind of like a side effect of something else. You have the Star. Again, I think this will be healing for you as well. But this could be like I do feel like financially healing. So like let's say someone didn't pay you and it's like maybe you have a big bill that you need to pay. Again, like if a client pays you double, it's like maybe it would help you pay that. It's like I kind of get that type of thing going on. I don't know what you call that, but a gift, right? That's all you need to know. Sagittarius is probably like a gift from the universe that's coming in for you. The Star also is great during Mercury retrograde. The Star card can represent like resting, relaxing, recovering, healing, all the things that we should be doing during a retrograde anyway. You have the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but the Seven of Swords is really kind of like a card of thinking outside the box. He is stealing those swords from an army that's in the background here of the card, and he's doing that so those swords can't be used against him in battle. And I believe, that we're in the time of the Seven of Swords. I think that we are in a time where if we want to do anything, doesn't matter what it is, we're probably not going to accomplish it how we think we're going to accomplish it. There's probably going to be a lot of changes, and if we kind of roll with those changes, and if we find other ways of doing what we want to do, we'll be very successful. So I would keep, iterating, reinventing, and I would definitely do that. Again, because I think that I've just seen it work in my own life, right? So I think in a lot of ways that, being willing to be open to reinventing something and allowing it to evolve over time is the trick with the Seven of Swords, and it looks like you're doing that. With the Three of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, if you are looking for love, this looks amazing right here, love. Then we have the King of Swords right here. So you could be attracting like a very wise, mature person into your life. It could be an air sign. It could be an Aquarius as well that you are attracting. With the Star, you have the Three of Pentacles. Definitely a great time for you to show off, for sure. You have that Fame card, the Star so far. We haven't even finished yet. And you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is a card of showing your work. But, I kind of feel with a Star that if you have accomplished something, that maybe you need to talk about it more. Maybe you need to tell people about what you're doing more, tell people about what you're doing more. Like I used to work with a person who would like never, this was back when I was like working more in marketing, which I still do, but, I used to do it a lot more. And, this person, it's like they refused to tell people what they had to offer, right? And it's like once they started to tell people what they had to offer, lo and behold, they started getting more sales, right? So I think that for a lot of you, this is saying speak up. Like if you're proud of what you have accomplished and what you have done, and if you have something that will change people's lives, like I would talk about it. And I feel like that's what that's saying. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Fool. Again, great time for experimentation and reinvention for you. So, but I feel like this is more a continuation. So if you've been working on a project or a business, it's like maybe you've had to make change after change after change. I feel like the Fool is saying you're continuing the journey and you're being flexible, and this is a good thing because I think that the reading, it's like there's nothing really here that says this except for actually the Seven of Wands, which you have right here. The Seven of Wands is a card of persistence. The Nine of Wands is the card of perseverance. And the Seven of Wands is saying to me, to you, that you need to be persistent. Like, don't give up on whatever you're working on. Keep going. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card that says you will do much better than expected. It says perfection. I love it. You have this rescuer card that says someone in your life may need help getting back on track. I would be careful of anyone who needs help getting back on track. I feel like that's where some problems have come up for you in the past. Like maybe you've tried to help a person, you've tried and tried and tried, and they're just not getting it. So again, either change your approach in how you help this person if you have a person like that in your life, or I think you need to maybe move on. You have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about really saving yourself, moving on to calmer shores and heading towards improvements. And it's like sometimes people are just dense, right? They just don't get it. It doesn't matter how much you try to help them. They're not going to do the things that you need to help, right? That you can do to help. Like I'm a Pisces, and it's like I've had to learn this lesson the hard way, right? Like all Pisces, they try to help people don't listen, and there's nothing you can do. So I think for some of you, this is about like kind of protecting your energy and making sure that you're really only helping people that, number one, accept the help, that ask for the help, but also that actually use the help, right? I think that's also important. Again, if we keep telling a person, if someone comes to us for help, like a family member, a friend, or whatever, and they don't listen, then there's really no point in trying to help them, right? They have to figure it out on their own. And so, again, I think it's always a good thing to help people, but I also think it's bad to help people when they don't listen, because then you're just kind of like always giving from your cup. They're accepting the energy, but they're not doing anything with it, and it's just emptying your own cups. You have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is about knowledge and wisdom. I do feel some of you could be attracting like an older person. They could be the same age or even younger, but the King of Swords would say you're attracting a very mature person, so I feel that you could be attracting a person who is actually mature. You have the Seven of Wands, and again, I really get persistence on this card. I feel like if you're working on a project, a business, an idea, that this is saying you have been persistent and that you should continue to be persistent to put whatever this is out into the world. I really feel this is saying, it will really, really help and really be a good thing if you put things out into the world, if you, put yourself out to the world, to the people in the world. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I think it would be a good thing for you to do with the Seven of Wands, right? With the Six of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition. I think it's an amazing time to learn from the competition as well. So if you have like a business, a career, or if you're like working on any projects, it might be a really good time for you to learn from the competition. Again, if there are people who cause a conflict, I would definitely avoid those people. With the King of Swords, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, I kind of feel like, not really a love reading, but, again, if you do want love, I do feel you are more focused on a growth-oriented person. I think the best people that we can attract in life are the ones where it's like you lift them up, they lift you up, and it's kind of like you ladder up, right? So you're always growing, and I think those can be really good relationships. And I almost get that feeling here on the Two of Wands, where it's like you could be attracting like a very worldly person, or a person who has like a lot of different perspectives, and this could help lift you up. I don't know, very specific. So, again, you could be attracting a very specific type of person. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, experimentation is going to be your best friend. I think I purposely run as many experiments as I possibly can during Mercury retrograde. I make a lot of mistakes. Don't care, right? Mistakes, as long as I'm not going to die, then it's worth doing. And the Eight of Swords says that you are stuck only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways that you can do anything that you're trying to do. So I would open up to all the different possibilities and all the different ways there are to accomplish anything you're trying to accomplish. And if you do that, you will probably find success. So, the Eight of Swords really kind of says that. Next, In the area of the good stuff, you have this Trust in Divine Detours card. You also have this electric eel. It says, bring your ideas to life. So any new ideas or new directions that you are thinking of probably need a little bit of electricity, right? They probably need some life injected into them. The Trust in Divine Detours, again, it's a Mercury retrograde, right? We definitely, like, let me tell you something. I have a funny retrograde coyote story for you. Like, years ago, I moved back to Seattle, and I flew back during a Mercury retrograde because I had moved during COVID, and then I flew back to move back, and it was just like a disaster from the start. It's like before I even flew back, all our flights were canceled. We had to change our flights, but we get to Seattle. We were driving around looking for a new place to live, and we see this coyote like on this road that we were going to look at a house at, and I kind of like felt like it was a little bit of a warning, but like I didn't listen to it. I ended up getting COVID on that trip, and it was like this whole disaster, right? But like I didn't listen, and so again, I think sometimes it's like we need to trust those symbols or those signs when we see them, and I do feel like this is saying that. You have the Three of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Four of Swords. Three of Wands, of course, is a card of expansion and growth. You and your opposite sign, Gemini, always get this card, probably because Jupiter is in Gemini, which is also going to benefit you, and I feel like I said this to you in your last reading as well. So again, there could be like a lot of expansion and a lot of growth coming in for you at this time with the Three of Wands. The Hierophant is about kind of like bringing heaven down to earth. You know, the Hierophant is the bridge between heaven and earth. He can communicate with both sides. He can bring heaven down to earth. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about needing to bring heaven down to earth. Like whatever your beliefs are or whatever, whatever you want to create, I really feel the Hierophant is saying it's time for you to create that dream. And you also have the Four Swords. Again, another card that comes up quite a bit during Mercury retrogrades is the Four Swords. The Four Swords can represent resting, relaxing, recovering, healing, but he is also hoping and praying for blessings. So there's a person blessing this other person in this stained glass window. So I feel for a lot of you, it might be a good time to like dream big, especially with the Hierophant. He needs to have the vision, before he can manifest it here on earth. And I feel a lot of you, it might be a good time for you to develop some sort of vision. The other thing is that you have the star card, and the star is about having a North Star, having that one big focused goal, wish, or dream in your life. So having something to focus on might be a really good idea. With the Three of Wands, you have the Hierophant. So this is basically saying that you need to take your vision and you need to multiply it by like 100 at least, right? We have Neptune in Pisces right now and Saturn in Pisces, and I always say that Neptune in Pisces is the big impossible dream. And so take your dreams, multiply them by 1,000, and are you going to accomplish that 1,000x goal? Probably not, but even if you get 10x or 100 times better what you wanted, that's 100 times better than what you originally wanted. So I think it's better, Les Brown said that it's better to aim high and miss than it is to aim low and hit, right? So I think it's a really good time to aim high. With the Hierophant, you have the Hangman. Hangman is another like typical retrograde energy. He has put himself in Hangman mode to gain enlightenment. And so you have the star here, and the star could also say that you are gaining a lot of enlightenment. And sorry, hold on 1 minute, I'm going to pause. All right, we're back. So again, I think that you need to do whatever you can to gain enlightenment with the Hangman. With the Four of Swords, you have the Two of Swords. Again, this is coming up in the good stuff. So the Two of Swords would probably say that you are gaining new perspectives on the things that you want to accomplish. The Two of Swords, she's thinking this or that, but she has this new island behind her, and that new island represents like a new perspective. There is something new going on that island, and she's just thinking that she only has two choices, but she really has a third option behind her. So I feel for a lot of you that you are kind of like increasing your options in your life, or you are discovering new options for your journey. So let's see. You have this Lost card. This is Saturn in Pisces. We do have Saturn in Pisces right now, again with Neptune in Pisces. And so I think that during Saturn and Pisces, a lot of people, I don't think, I want to stress, I don't think it's just Saturn and Pisces that is causing this, but I think a lot of us are being asked to cut things out of our life right now, and it's a very common energy, and it's probably things that don't serve us any longer anyway. So if you're letting something go, it's probably for the best. You have this adaptability card. You are very adaptable, so I'm not too worried about this. But if one way to do something doesn't work, try something else, right? And I think as long as you stick with that rule, then you will find success. You have this restlessness card. Yeah, any times that you're feeling restless, I would put that energy into something like do a puzzle, do a coloring book. I think restlessness is one of the most destructive energies because we're just like pacing around, worrying about something. So usually when we're restless, we're worrying. And so I would channel that energy whenever you feel that way. You have this empathy card. Again, I think you need to care about yourself more at this time. Like I said, instead of helping people that aren't even accepting your help. Now, again, if someone is willing to accept your help, if they ask for help and they actually do what you say, totally different story. But if you have a person, which I do feel like some of you have a person or people in your life where it's like they ask for help but completely ignore it, then definitely don't waste your time. And finally, you have this criticism card. I feel like you're worried about criticism, like if you expand past something with the Three of Wands, and I wouldn't even worry about it. Only successful people get criticized, right? So don't even worry about it. But this looks really good, Sag. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.